Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. 7 years ago, I had a video on this house about curb appeal. It is not looking so curbalicious right now. Jack and I decided to come on over. We did the lawns here in the last couple of days, but it's needing some sprucing up. We've been over here trimming trees and doing things. I'm gonna hit the fence with a power washer and talk to the neighbor about power washing this. This has been a project that has been kind of on hold. We had some tenants here that were just, ones we would have rather gotten rid of. So they're gone now and we're able to come over and do some work. But I can see up here, I've had a woodpecker or something going at the siding, and the windowsill up there is rotted right out. And we started roofing and never got back to finishing it. So this is where we're at. He's got to come over. We got to do a tear off on a roof here. So we've been looking into roof anchors because this is a little bit steeper and he was worried about the angle of it. It's about like our house and it's not bad, but once you start slipping, there's nothing to hang on to you. We have 2 safety harnesses. So I stopped by the store today to check out the hardware for putting in a couple anchors up there so that we can work on the tear off. Obviously this is not a roof I'm going to want the kids up on. The garage and the little breezeway area here is not bad at all. But I've also got power lines going from the backyard to this pole. And there's a tree issue here that is coming over from the backside neighbor over here, which has at some point changed ownership, and I haven't met them yet. So we got to kind of talk about that. You can hear there's some tree trimming going on down the road right now. And of course I've got a maple tree back here that he has to come and cut. So we're gonna work on this. This is gonna be our project. We're gonna try to knock out just the garage today and maybe the breezeway bump out, front, back, and side. So guys already been at it, just working at, eye level. I had gotten the ladder over here and checked out my primer yesterday, and it was 7 years old with a tin top and it did not seal. So I'm just going to use up stuff that we already had on hand before I switch to a paint and primer in one. I tried this peel stop from Zinsser and it did not make a difference. That one's about empty, so I brought it to throw in the dumpster at work. This one is brand new and I had it mixed and didn't use it. My 5-gallon bucket had about a gallon in it and I didn't know, otherwise I would have put it in a small one and not lost it. So this is probably a third full. So this is just the Bare Premium Plus exterior satin enamel, no primer or anything in it, but I wanted to still have primer on it because as you can see here, we are getting down to the bare wood. Now this is the 1950 house, and I've gone through this several different times with the bare primer, then the peel stop, and it's been 7 years. It didn't really do much better than just the paint with the primer alone. So this side of the house doesn't get as much sun and weather. I would like to take this air conditioner out. This is a boiler system, so I think it would be better to do a mini split in this house or window air conditioners. The previous person that was here, there was some wall damage here from, it looked like a body slam. So we're kind of thinking it would just be best to take that out, redirect some of the siding from the back side that I want to take off. We're hoping to just kind of do at least 2/3 of that as new wood. So Jack and I are going to get on this and we'll just kind of show you some work along the way as we go. Well, we had to take a little break to go get some tools and some lunch, so we're having a little break here at 4:30 in the afternoon. We've been at this for not terrible long time, probably, what do you say, 2-3 hours maybe? It's coming along pretty good. So I've done the back side here just as far as I could reach standing on the ground without standing on a bucket. And, well, it's always a little more than you think. And I gone around here on the side. This is usually the best side of the whole house because it never gets any sun. So I wanted to start over here. I've got some swelling down here at this fiberboard, and I was gonna grab some nails and forgot. So the front is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up my primer. This is all ready. And then after I get the primer on, I might take the ladder when he's done with it up there and trim up some of that got a bit of an issue with this power line going through, so that sort of worries me. And like I said, we wanted to get a coat of paint on it so that we're not leaving it looking so bad. But I was saying our front, how it's so bad. We lost one shingle right up there. The east trough is not working properly, and water is dripping right down here, making this fail. So I want to get to it like right away and get it cleaned up because it's super bad, and I think I'm getting moisture. This needs to be caulked up behind that storm window. Extreme heat magnifying there, so the blinds on the inside have warped and they're sagging really bad. And then maybe start real early in the morning over here. So I still got, afternoon, early evening shade going on, because the last time I painted this house, these trees weren't very large. We planted this tree. There was a smaller one that died, and there's a maple tree here and a flowering crab apple tree. One thing we always do is go and plant some trees, and these were just, back in the day, Home Depot trees for under 20 bucks. Makes a huge difference. We added these U's down the side. It helps hide the gas meter and just give the house a little bit of character. And we've just always kept the landscaping in the front very, very simple. So the day before yesterday, went through and did all my edging on the sidewalk. You can see where it was. I was snow shoveling here in the winter and had a heck of a time trying to keep this clear. And that porch was icing like crazy. And part of it is in the basement where heat was coming up, so it was freezing on the cap. And then I think I had some extra drainage from the roof, keeping things quite wet. This has a curve in it that I didn't even know it had, but we've had it vacant now for a while, and the weeds are growing up. The gravel is sunken down, so it's time to get a new load of gravel and figure out where my grass line is going to be here, because with two vehicles there, you gotta have one to be able to get in here. Not that anybody ever seems to use their garages. And I found a boatload of lumber up here, so we're gonna be taking this lumber down that is up there that isn't being used for rafter storage, and save that for something else, and maybe I'll be able to find some pieces of siding up there also. Well, unfortunately, it looks bad before it looks better. It got late last night and we had to get home. It's a 45-minute drive to home, and we worked until 8:30 last night. We quit for lunch at like 4, and then we just slowed right down after that. I have to go back and work on where he's been scraping. Little brother Trey came along today to help out, and they're making some good progress over there. So I'm finding out the back of the house is not cedar siding and the rest of the house is. We couldn't figure out quite what the difference was. And we have other houses that have had cedar siding. For whatever reason, they cheapened up and they just used like common white pine maybe. So let me show you around the back how it's looking. So this is the side of the garage, and I've got it all ready to go. This will get completely done today. Gotta address that. I did bring some siding nails over so that I can work on that. And this is really hard to show on camera, but right there, especially in the middle, this has all been kind of reconfigured, but there used to be a bathroom window in the shower, and we took that out at one point when we replaced the shower. The siding was just one perfect square of new boards that they just patched in that one spot. So he took them off and staggered them, but you can see the paint just does not hold there at all. So the sun hasn't come around to here, and it'll come around to here first. So I'm gonna work on this. You can see I've got just to there where I've got a little shade. I did get up on the roof today and trim back some of those bushes, but I found out this is the power supply line going across to the pole in the front, and then it counters back to the house. So my husband was trying to tell me that, oh, there's no high voltage going through there. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get rid of me. But I thought it was kind of interesting going around here and seeing what was going on. When he roofed this, he never put the eaves trough back on because he figured he was going to get around to the front and be done with it. We've got a high humidity problem in this house, and I think that we've got to get these eaves troughs going. So maybe when I come back. This side, I need my little giant ladder, and it is heavy and hard to set up. That's why I'm just kind of working my way around. I've been kind of starting a headache here in the last hour or so. We're not going to work terrible late today. We've got kind of plans for dinner and everything's already ready to go, but it would be nice to start in on this side because it won't be as long and as sunny as the others. So I'm going to start in on my painting now and get on up there. So I'll tell you, we've done a lot of painting in the last 20 or so years, and there's one thing that I always go back to is the Behr paint. I just want to say this is not sponsored in any way. Last year or the year before, I bought a 5-gallon bucket of exterior white paint to paint over white, just like I'm doing right now, and it took 3 coats to get coverage over white. So this is a paint and primer in one that I'm doing. We usually in the past did not do a paint and primer in one just because when we started it wasn't available, and as technology advanced we're using up everything that was not a paint and primer in one and switching to that because it is very cost effective. For example, when I went shopping to pick up primer for this house, I was going to skip the paint and primer because I've got an open 5-gallon bucket of paint that is not an all-in-one paint, and I knew I would need primer at least for that. This being the least exposed side of the house, I don't get a lot of sun over here and weather. I'm on the east side of the house, but you can see my primer for this was dark green, like army green. So I just used my sage green to go over that because it's going to be time saving in that I already have that paint on the brush rather than going back and coating this twice with the white. It's really good coverage, but if you're going over dark colors, then you would need 2 coats. So you can see here with this, I'm getting total coverage over this sage green with the white. Now a lot of people would say, why wouldn't you just side the house? Well, I've got one section of the house that's got actually bad wood siding on it that's rotted. It's so much more cost effective for me and for my skills and ability to paint every few years than to go ahead and buy siding that is going to last for 10 years. So we've got 10-year-old siding on our house at home, and if you bump it with the string trimmer, it absolutely shatters and shreds. So this is actually in 18 to 20 years. This is the 4th time I'm painting this house, and the first time I painted it, it was already a white house. We just scraped it, painted it, and moved on with it. It was just a white house with forest green shutters. Very 90s. Decided I was going to change the color and update the whole look of the house, and I'm so glad I did because it looks way, way better. Now with any amount of weathering, sun fading, you're going to have some color changes over the years. So I went through and primed this whole side of the garage and did it with that forest green. They wanted some tint in it when I had my paint mix so that I wasn't having to go over it with multiple layers. Now I've used other brands of exterior paint, like I said, and did not get 1 coat coverage. And of course I'm looking in the shade. This is a really good time to go around and check the caulk on your windows. I sprayed these with the Rust-Oleum Frost glazing because it gets a little privacy. you're actually sitting on a mounted ladder on the neighbor's garage. We are probably 7 feet apart. I'm doing this house a section at a time. Being in the city, it looks really bad to just scrape the whole house. I've done that in the past, and the problem with that is you come back later on, and wherever you've scraped, you've got new wood, like it's starting to feather and peel more from being exposed. Oh shoot, I ripped down the house. I have to go get a rag. So that's looking a lot better as a whole. So this is what the whole side looks like. And as you can see, this is where I was working yesterday. I have to get the ladder and trim on this side. That power line goes from the back side of the garage there. And it just wasn't comfortable trying to go over that. So I'll work on this side here a little bit today. We have branch and limb pickup twice a month, and they've changed things a little bit. So it was supposed to be Tuesday. I think they're doing this side of the town on Wednesday now at this point. So see, right now it's just dull looking with 2 colors with the black. I see a little spot up top that could use a little touch up of paint, about the 4th board down. I will coat this with the white paint. I coated it with the green paint at the end of yesterday just because I really had some forward thinking about covering it with white, the dark green, and then this will get edged out. I'm contemplating the light here. There's one light switch and it controls the front and the back. It's just a basic light here, but that's got to be cleaned anyway. When we used the sprayer on the house, it got some overspray, but I dropped one of the screws on it. Of course, I can't find it. So today I've got Jack working on this breezeway section on the front side. We'll work on it here on the back side. Just have a little bit easier day of it staying out of the sun because we both got just a little bit too much yesterday and his neck is red. So we didn't want to be total rednecks, so we're trying to just do a little less, but this is gonna all be in the sun here. But if you turn around over here, you're in the shade. So I'm working on the inside glass of the garage right now. This is what I got. It's Rust-Oleum frosted glass treatment. And let me just show you a little bit up close what it looks like. So this is just a regular window right here. You can see right out. And the problem with a lot of garages is, you know, you not being home. For instance, like this house, you pull in the driveway. Here's the sidewalk. It goes right up to the front walk here. This is an unsecured, no way to lock it, breezeway entrance. So anybody can, you know, come into here and knock on this door. We've got to figure out a way to be able to lock this walk-through door because I've always just had it on a latch for security. The last tenants broke the latch that we had for the garage door, so right now there's an issue with that, and I just have to figure out why it's like that. It's bent on this return here. So That'll have to get swapped out, and maybe we'll put a regular door here. It's just a sliding door on a track. You know, you could always throw a padlock on it, but I don't know what the story is with all that. So security-wise, anybody just walking up and seeing, hey, you know, let me see what's in your garage, it can be bad if you want to see out. That's why we're not doing it in this breezeway section, which of course you could, but I think it's a lot easier just to hang up, you know, a sheer curtain so that if you want to see out, that you can have that. A lot of tenants, we've had this as a rental in the past, have kept their freezer out here to have space in the house, because there's a lot of space here for a chest freezer, and still have space for the rest of the garage for a car and any of your bicycles and things like that. So because the garages are so close together, you know, it's just, if you want to come out here in your pajamas at night, you've got these windows facing the neighbors here, and the next house there's a little more space, but just all the way around. This is 2 coats. See that? This is a drop of paint on the outside. So I just sprayed the second coat on it. It's doing really good because, to show you up close on the side, see right here, right now you're about 3 inches from the window, and you can have sunlight coming in but still have privacy. And this is a lot cheaper at like $3.50 a can. Today they were buy one get one for $1, I think, or buy one get one free. So this is 1 coat. I can still see out. We'll go through all the windows and give them a good second coat. The main thing I can tell you is have your windows clean. If you change your mind, all you have to do is take a razor blade and scrape it off. Shoe fly. Now the nice thing about this is it says it dries in 5 to 10 minutes. Wait 5 to 10 minutes to see the frost effect set in. So multiple layers, as many as you want. This is really great if you need some privacy in a bathroom. Like I had said, this house originally had a window in the shower. My other house that I have over on the other side of town, treat it with this. It's way cheaper and easier to deal with than the Klingon, you know, kind of stuff, because you can easily wipe away moisture, still clean your window with this. So I'm gonna hit these again with a second coat here in a little bit on the front of the garage, and we'll be all set. Total, you know, I've probably got a can and a half into the whole project by the time I'm done. And that's a lot cheaper than 1 set of blinds for the entire garage. And who wants to have blinds in the garage that you have to clean if you don't need to? Because I'll tell you, in this garage, I've got nothing but bugs and cobwebs and spiders. So I did do it at my other house because it's a little more finished, but this is just a basic garage with backer board walls and 2x4s. And if anybody ever turns it into a workshop, then they'll have a little bit of privacy. It's a great thing for adding space. A lot of people are working from home. Gyms have been closed for the last year, and they're starting to reopen now. All right, it's time, and we are going on with our second coat. I was saying before I ended last time, this will make a really good extra option to make this as a home gym or just a workshop in the garage. it for today. Thanks for stopping in and watching the show. Thanks for giving us thumbs up and subscriptions and everything that you do to be a part of our channel and be a part of our YouTube family. I'd say that the house is coming along quite well. It's getting to be close to dinner time, so we're just emptying out the rest of our paint here in this little middle section before we